Yeehaw, feller. Have I ever told you about the time I did your mom in? Anyways, yeah, today's a Thanksgiving video. When this video comes out, it should either be on Thanksgiving, which hopefully I can crunch it in that time, but yeah, this video is going to be about Thanksgiving and how it's not actually Thanksgiving. Now, that sentence probably doesn't make much sense, so I'll explain it in about a short sentence. We broke the oath of Thanksgiving. So, Thanksgiving started because of back when colonists were, starving and stuff, and they'd ask the Native Americans for help, and they gave them stuff. So, Thanksgiving was basically this one big festival to thank them for giving them food and helping them. Problem is, though, you can see that this entire country is not full of, well, it's no longer full of Native American people, let's just say. We took this country from them, basically, and we broke their entire oath and stuff, and they hated us. We killed a bunch of Native Americans to get to this point, and a bunch of other colonists had to be killed to also get to this point. The main problem with Thanksgiving is that we're basically celebrating the death of multiple Native Americans, if not thousands of them, and we're celebrating genocide. But we're not going to talk about that, okay? We're going to just stuff our fat, greasy bodies with food. And also, shit, I just realized I'm wearing a green hoodie. Now, unfortunately, I can hear many keyboard warriors typing on their keyboards and slamming it furiously about how they do not like my opinion. My opinion is trash and invalid, and they like stuffing their greasy, fat bodies with food. Now, look, I understand that Thanksgiving is definitely a good holiday. Aside from all the stuff that has happened, it's a holiday where you can meet up with your family and eat food and have a good time and, just interact with them. And also eat some good food. But of course, no, I'm not going to accept that fact. I'm still going to remember the fact that almost 400 years ago, we killed a bunch of Native Americans to get this country as ourselves, and also because, well, we were selfish. Look, I understand that this was 400 years ago and that we don't have to say anything about it anymore. But I don't give a shit, bro. My main problem is that we're still celebrating this, but we completely forget about what happened. Most people just put aside the fact that to get to this point of the holiday, and also to get to this point in America, we had to slay a bunch of Native Americans, but they're not even Native Americans. They are, but they're different. They're not Native Americans. They're not Americans at all. They're the original people that inhabited this land. The thing is, though, where I'm currently standing was ground for where Native Americans lived. So, that's kind of ironic because this is a huge house and neighborhood that I'm currently living in right now. So yeah, my main problem with Thanksgiving is that it's not Thanksgiving. It's basically celebrating genocide. I don't want to be like a downer and also the stereotypical white girl complaining on Twitter about how no one properly says her gender pronoun or whatever. Look, we get it. You're an attack helicopter. I don't give a shit, okay? I'm just gonna continue playing my video games, okay? I'm just gonna pronounce you by your original pronoun. Now, look, I understand that this holiday is very important for Americans specifically, but it's not very important for Native Americans, and it pretty much just reminds them that they got their land taken away from them. We basically had to slay a bunch of them to get this land. Everyone tries to think that they graciously gave up this land, but no, we had to kill a bunch of them to get into further territory and take this entire country over. But, whatever, sure. We can just enjoy what we have right now. I think that's the main point that people want to do. They want to forget about it. And, yeah, I get it. It's kind of hard to think about, and it's kind of sad to think about how we had to kill a bunch of people just to celebrate this holiday. And it's no longer its original purpose, it's just about meeting up with your family. And, well, nowadays, it's just a good thing, sort of. I'm still not going to accept the fact that this is a holiday meant for Americans. This should be a holiday to, well, talk about this history of Thanksgiving and how we slaughtered a bunch of Native Americans. It's just that I don't want Native American history, and also American or England colonist history in general has been very rocky and transparent. So whenever you're in schools, whenever they talk about it, either they completely ignore that we committed genocide, or they do acknowledge the fact, but they don't really go into detail about it, which I think most of the time they completely ignore the fact that we committed genocide to get to this point. That's the main thing in elementary schools and sometimes middle schools, because while it's a very unfamily-friendly thing, you don't want to talk about how we slayed a bunch of foreigners because we didn't like what they were doing to us and we wanted their land. But it's fine, I can still shove a bunch of turkey ass in my mouth, okay? So go ruin everyone's Thanksgiving and remind them of how we committed genocide almost 400 years ago. Because we wanted their land, and also because we're selfish, and also because, we don't give a shit. Bye.